The Broncos wrap up the preseason a perfect 3-0, defeating the Rams 17-12. Hello and thank you for joining us for the Broncos Postgame Show. Welcome into the Pat Bowlen Fieldhouse. I am Phil Milani, joined in studio by former Broncos running back Knowshon Moreno. Knowshon, man, it's good catching up with you.
Hey, appreciate you having me.
Thanks for being here.
You.
Yeah, the Broncos get the win here, 17-12. It's just the preseason, but 3-0, they're looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, you can't complain about that, right? It gives you some good momentum going into the real season when the real bullets are flying. So yeah, I mean, it was a good game tonight, I think.
Let's show you the highlights. Cortland Sutton back in action, making his preseason debut in the second quarter. Looking like the Cortland Sutton we know, a 19-yard gain, and then a few plays later, Bridgewater struggled a little bit to start, but on this drive, he looked really sharp. We'll talk about the quarterbacks a little bit later. Switches hands, then finds Sutton for an 8-yard score. The Broncos up 10-6. In the third quarter, Drew Lock came in. He kind of struggled for a little bit, but then on this drive, a scoring drive here, 4 for 4, finds Trinity Benson for a 21-yard gain. The very next play, Kendall Hinton there. Those two fighting for one of those final wide receiver spots. The drive caps off here with Locke finding Austin Fort, a 7-yard score. Fort had that great camp a couple years ago before getting really hurt. His ACL, spent the last 2 years on IR. But the Broncos come away with the victory 17-12. Let's check in with our crew at Empower Field at Mile High. Take it away, Eric Delau.
Yeah, thanks, Phil. I mean, the big story tonight is the three guys returning from injury: Von Miller, Cortland Sutton, Albert Okwuegbunam. They all had nice evenings here against the Rams. Von Miller, of course, 3 tackles. Cortland Sutton had a couple of catches, and then that big touchdown. You could just tell how much that meant to the team. Albert, maybe stay away from the hurdling there, but still some good to see him out there. And finally, one more takeaway from me, Phil. Teddy Bridgewater started a little bit slow. I think first 4 passes fell incomplete, but really able to finish strong, led a touchdown drive. You feel good about your starting offense going into this season, I think. And based on what we saw from Drew Lock tonight, struggled a little bit, turned the ball over again. Teddy, in my mind, Phil, he's the right choice.
Knowshon, the story, of course, always going to be the quarterback position. Teddy Bridgewater, 6 of 11, 62 yards, touchdown tonight. Drew Lock, 5 of 7, 67 yards, touchdown. Teddy kind of struggled a little bit, but then he found his rhythm.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's going to happen like that. I mean, you're going to find your rhythm, either that's early or later in the game. You better find it at some point, right? But it was good to see them that they were able to get some points on the board there in the red zone and not just come up with field goals, right?
What do you think about the Broncos? A big decision this week, of course, going with Teddy Bridgewater as their starting quarterback.
Yeah, I think it's his job to lose, really. Just go ahead and let the guy go in there and start it out, right? And if things happen in the game, then you can switch quarterbacks out.
Oh, you think maybe they'll switch quarterbacks at some point in the season, maybe?
No, who knows, right? It's his job to lose at this time, I think. So let the guy go in there. He's a good athlete, great quarterback, I think. That can make some good plays for us. So let's see what he can do in the real season.
Drew Lock came in there, got strip sacked, had a couple of sacks early on, but then found his own. When he's been the quarterback around here the last couple of years. Now he learns this decision. What's the mindset heading into the season?
It's tough sometimes too. But you're going in there with the second O. Sometimes, things might happen. So you're not always the best protected, right, when you're at the quarterback position, when the second team is in there. But I think the guys did a great job. Like, he did some great things throughout this whole season, throughout the whole preseason, excuse me. But the main thing I think that I took away from the whole preseason is that not many turnovers, right? I mean, if you want to win games, you got to keep hold of the ball. You got to keep possession of that. You don't want to give it to the other team. So you got to win the turnover possessions. So they did a great job of that, besides that one fumble there with Locke early. So all in all, I think it was a decent preseason. It was good to see the guys out there.
Yeah, they got a bye week next week and then rolling into that week 1 game against the Giants. Let's hear from Teddy Bridgewater after the game.
We were just off a little bit tonight. It's one of those deals, as a quarterback, it was like, man, I know I got, Court out here for the first time, Big O. And let me kind of really get these guys going. And if I just really play within our system, throw the ball to the guy that's open, you have success as a quarterback in his offense. So it was one of those deals where I just learned, hey, man, if we call Court's number and they cover it, hey, just get to the next guy in the read. Or, if it's a certain coverage that prevents us from throwing the ball to Big O, get to the next guy. So it's one of those deals where, you want to see these guys have that success, get them going fast, but at the same time, you got to stay within the system.
Knowshon, let's talk about these running backs for the Broncos. Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams are going to be the 1-2 punch this season. What do you think about this group?
It's a good group of backs. You know what I mean? You saw it tonight when the not the ones, but the 2s and the 3s got in. Some good, strong runners. You know what I mean? You always need those guys in your locker room for your practice squad or the main guys. So, Gordon's been in the league for a while now. He knows how to carry himself, and there's nothing that I can see in his game that I'm like, oh, no, I don't like that, right? Melvin Gordon's going to do his thing, and then the other guys got to give him his backup when he needs it.
Javonte Williams, a second-round pick. The Broncos traded up to draft him coming out of UNC. You know a little something about being a high draft pick, some pressure to produce as a rookie. What do you think his mindset is heading into the season?
Just go out there and execute and make plays, right? The guys got to trust you, right? You got to make sure you get in your playbook, you know the plays, and when you get in there, just make the best of it. And the main thing, right, as we've been talking about, as you've seen throughout the whole preseason, you got to keep that ball high and tight and protect that ball. That's the main thing. So I think just going to the preseason, going to the games with an open mind. Don't think about any pressure. Just go out there and play football. You've been doing it for a while.
Mm-hmm. That's got to be the mindset. Let it happen. I think.
Yeah, it'll happen.
Yeah. Okay, let's go back down to Empower Field at Mile High. Sidney Jones is standing by with a player.
We are here with Albert Okwuegbunam. Albert, how good did it feel to get back out on the field?
It was great. After a long journey of rehab, it just felt really good to be out there competing again and doing what I do best.
Did you feel like you really needed this preseason game to be ready for the regular season?
Yeah, that was the only thing separating me from being 100% back was just getting those valuable game reps and those real live reps. So, after today, that was really the only hurdle I had left to jump. So I think it was definitely necessary.
Speaking of hurdles to jump, can you walk me through trying to jump over, 3 guys out there?
Yeah, so with the first 2 catches that I had, I got tackled low. The DB just chopped my leg, so I told myself next time I make a catch and I'm in the open field, I'm gonna jump, and that's what I did. Didn't really work out. It wasn't a clean hurdle, but I landed forward and got the first down, so I'm happy with it.
Would you say your knee does feel 100% now?
Yeah, definitely 100%.
All right, last one for you, Albert. How good did it feel to have all Broncos country out there? You didn't really experience any of that last year.
Yeah, no, it was huge. To see that atmosphere, see that environment, just even for a preseason game is great. I really look forward to down the road in the regular season. It was really exciting, though.
Well, appreciate your time, Albert. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sidney. Knowshon, let's talk about the defensive side of the ball a little bit here. Von Miller made his preseason debut. We haven't seen him play in a game since 2019, coming off that injury last year. Got to be excited. When he ran out of the tunnel tonight, that place erupted. You played with Von. I mean, he's heading into his 11th season.
It's crazy.
What are some expectations for him this year?
Just to do what he does. He's a vet in the game. He's been doing this for a while now. So I know he's super excited to be back out on that field, get out there and chasing these quarterbacks down. He'll do a lot of that this year, I think. He's fresh, even though, coming off an injury, you haven't been hitting, your body's not all banged up as it would be if you were in there every single game. So I think it's going to be a great season for him. He's going to come back strong.
Important for him to get some of those jitters out tonight versus week 1?
Yeah, either way. Once you strap on them pads and you walk out, like I said, he's a vet in the game. You got a little jitters, right? But once he walks out of that tunnel, it's over for whoever that quarterback is, right? So,
he's still Von Miller.
Exactly. He's still Von. Even a 50% Von Miller is probably better than a lot out there right now. So it's good.
How have you seen him change? Because when you played with him, he just came into the league. He was a young guy in that Broncos locker room. Now he's the vet. Now he's that leader in there. How have you seen him change over his career?
His game hasn't changed. Still that dominant defensive end that you see out there every week. But like his leadership role, I think he's moved into that leadership role a little bit more this season, I think, and not even this season. Other seasons in the past. So it's just good to see him back out there trying to get back into the shape of things. And
he was running around. He was getting after quarterbacks, as you see here, and then he was making tackles all over the field. Let's once again go down to the Broncos locker room at Empower Field at Mile High to Matt Boyer.
Here with Cortland Sutton. Courtland, a very nice welcome back to Empower Field, a touchdown catch, a couple of big plays. Take me through what it was like to be out there for the first time in a long time in front of Broncos fans.
Man, it was a blessing. There was a lot of prayers and a lot of hard work that went into being able to go out there and perform. And there's a lot of people to thank. I appreciate the equipment, training staff, strength staff, my coaches, everybody having my back and supporting me through this whole process. And, it was amazing to be able to get back out there on the field with my guys.
Took a couple of series to get into the rhythm, but once you did, you and Teddy were on the same page. Take through that big touchdown catch. Looked like you were coming to the sideline, and Teddy nailed you.
Yeah, man, improvising, making plays, two guys going to make a play. Well, not even two guys, I would say 11 guys going to go make a play. It took everybody to be able to go make that happen, and I'm glad that me and Teddy got to get the first one out the way. It was in preseason, but, it's good to have that rhythm and that chemistry, going into the regular season.
You come back, Melvin comes back, Vaughn's back, everybody's making plays. I know it's just preseason, but can you take this momentum and transfer it into week 1 against the Giants?
Why not? It's upon us to make sure that we're able to do that and that we, go and do that. We have the ability to do it. It's just upon us to be able to go out there and make it happen, and I don't see why not. We have a lot of playmakers, pass catchers, guys that run the ball. The guys up front are, giving Teddy a pocket to throw the ball and giving the running backs lanes to run it. And, when we're doing that, you can't complain.
A little bit of a preview of Broncos country. Week 3, this guy's flying out of the tunnel against the Jets back here at Empower Field. Courtland, thanks for the time.
Oh, yeah, appreciate y'all.
Thank you very much, Matt, here in studio with Knowshon Moreno. Knowshon, the next couple of days got to be tough for some of those guys on the back end of the roster here. Roster cutdowns coming up on Tuesday here. What do you think? How do you clear that out of your mind? What do you do as a player?
I mean, it's really not much you can do at this point, right? You did your best you can throughout camp and throughout all these preseason games. So it's all out of your hands now. Your tape is out there. Even if you don't make it on this squad, hopefully you make it on another squad. So don't even think. You can't think about it too much or you could drive yourself nuts, So you did the best you can, right? And if it's not here on this team, maybe it's on another.
Knowshon, that's enough about this Broncos team. I think people maybe watch and want to know, what have you been up to?
Well, right now I'm in real estate agent out here in Colorado. So with Keller Williams. So I've been doing that for a little bit now. So I enjoy that. Enjoy meeting new people and their faces when they see me or notice me, right? So it's been going really well. I can't complain about that.
That's awesome. Well, I think Broncos fans really remember those years that you had, especially that 2013 team. That was a special team.
We had some great guys here. I mean, even before then, you can't forget about the Champ Bailey and the Dawkins days, right? So we had some great guys come through this facility for sure.
Well, it was great catching up. Thanks for being here in studio, man. Appreciate
you, bro. Thank you.
The Broncos 3-0 in this preseason, defeating the Rams here on Saturday night, 17-12. That's going to do it for the Broncos Postgame Show.